Ryan, you see a lot of maybe the guys asking you about coaches. You seem to have more knowledge, obviously, about his style, what he's all about. Has that gone on a lot?
Yeah, a lot of guys have asked me.
What do you say?
He plays a simple style. It's not a really complicated program here. He expects one thing. He expects you to work hard. Practice games. He expects you to lay everything on the ice, but he also expects us, to have fun. I think those are usually the two messages. I think I told a couple guys what his speech was going to be a couple days ago, and I think I nailed it about 95% of the words. So I got him down pat.
What would you say is something that's unique about him compared to other coaches that you've had?
I think just the fun, like he really does, he puts an emphasis on having fun while working hard. I think he understands that, it's a privilege to play in this league, but it's also, it's one of the funnest things that you can do in your life, playing the NHL. And so he brings that aspect, and he brings a really hard-working, laid-back aspect, if that makes any sense. I think, you come to the rink and it's not like, oh my God, we're going to get shredded today because we lost a game. I've had coaches where, you win 5 in a row and you lose a game, and you come to the rink and there's 30 minutes of video and then you get bags. Like, he's not going to do that. He's quick at turning the page and getting on to the next. And you have fun playing for him, and he's a guy that's easy to talk to. He's very approachable. If you have a problem, if something's going on that you see with the team, you go talk to him. He may tell you to beat it, but he's going to listen for sure.
It seems like he kind of like lets you guys stay loose, kind of stays out of your way in some ways, but like is there to make you feel like you have his loyalty and respect, and he's not going to discipline you for something silly or anything like that.
Yeah, no, he's not going to do that. He's going to hold you accountable for sure. I think that's a big part of his system too, is accountability up and down the lineup. You play your role, you do what you're supposed to do on the ice, on and off. But yeah, he's you earn his respect and he earns your respect, and there's definitely that mutual respect throughout this season.
Chris Drury told us over the summer that it sounded like the Rangers had been after you for a little while. They talked to you when you were a free agent, and so did this feel like a long time coming? Like, can you tell us about how I don't know if you know how the trade came together, but just you landing here, them wanting you, all that.
Yeah, it's funny. I for the last since the free agency, when I signed a couple times in Vegas, probably 10 times a year I see a lot of fans saying, "Let's go get Reaves. Let's go." You know what I mean? And whenever there's an incident that happens here, it's always "Let's go get Reaves." So. I told my wife one time, I was like, you know what, I'm probably going to end up in New York at some point, and here we are. But yeah, the way it came about, I think in Vegas, they made some trades that kind of pushed me down the lineup, and they said, I wasn't going to play every game. I wasn't going to be out of the lineup, but I wasn't going to play every game. Or I had an opportunity to come here and play in another big stage and play for my old coach. We got a 1-year extension out of it, so kind of a no-brainer, I think. For me, you go where you're wanted. I didn't want to, I'm 34 right now, and I think I've been very lucky with the style I play to be in this league this long. There's not a lot of players like me there's not a lot of players in general that, play as long as I have. And, at the end of this contract, I'll be 36. So you got to go where you're wanted, and that's here.
You mentioned your style. How would you describe your style?
In your face, physical, gritty. I think, I think I just bring a little swag to the team. I think that's something, and maybe that's been missing here a little bit the last couple of years, is a little bit of pushback when there is, there's some physical teams in this division, and there's been games where maybe there's not that pushback that you need in some of those games, and sometimes games can get out of control. Sometimes just that style of play can push you out of a game, and so I think I try and lead the way, day in, day out with the physical play. When something happens on the ice, I'm always going to stick up for a teammate. When we got to get loud on the bench or get loud on the ice, I'm going to be the first guy to chirp somebody and get in their face and give them a face wash, whatever it has to be to get the boys going. So, I bring that, and then, I think I'm the oldest guy on the team by 5 years. So I bring a little bit of the off ice too. I play daddy a little bit. In Vegas, a lot of the young guys came to me with basically any problem they ever had. It was, I thought they needed a team service guy for that after that, but it was, I try and help, especially the young guys for sure. I try and help on and off the ice with whatever they need.
Kind of question, Jury and Galan have both talked about defined roles and that having clearer roles this season. What do you imagine your role could be?
It's not scoring 50 goals, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, although I had one today, so we'll see. No, I think it's going to be what it's always been. I'm not going to be making toe drags at the blue line. I'm not going to be going through guys. It's going to be getting the puck in deep, making D very scared to go back and get it. And I think if I'm playing like that day in and day out every single shift, eventually it starts to trickle to other lines. Those lines start chipping it in. They try and go get the puck. Well, now those D don't know who's on the ice, and they, maybe they're a little more scared even when, another line's out on the ice. So, I try and kind of set that standard and kind of set the tone for other lines, and make the other team a little uneasy.
When you talk about roles, and every time there's an incident, you have a sense that everybody wants you. The incident with Tom Wilson with this team at the end of last season, and I know you fought Tom Wilson. I mean, you're going to play them in the first game? I mean, do you think about all that stuff? I mean, does that matter to you?
Not really, no. I'm not here because of Tom Wilson. I'm here because of, what players like Tom Wilson brings to his team, and what, Kyle Clutterbuck and Martin, what they bring to their team. And this is a big division that has some physical fourth line, and some, Wilson's on the first line, physical top line who, runs around a little bit. And doesn't matter what the player is, what team it is, whether we're out east or out west. I'm holding everybody accountable. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what happened last year. It doesn't what happened, 10 years ago. It's what happened this season, or what happens this season, and everybody's gonna be held accountable when they go up against our team.
Ryan, how excited are you to at this stage of your career to play at the Garden in front of these fans?
I'm really excited. This is obviously a well-historied arena with some passionate fans. I came from an expansion team that they became really passionate fans, and now I'm coming to a team that's been around, an original six team that's had passionate fans for years and years, and so I'm excited. I went from one big stage to another, and New York is probably the biggest stage you can go to. So yeah, this is exciting for me.
Ryan, look around the room. What's this team capable of?
Stanley Cup. I wouldn't have come here if they weren't. This team's built a lot of young, good, talented players, through draft picks, and they just have a really good young team here. And now this year, we've added some grit. We've added a little bit of that grind that that balances the team out well. And some of these young players, they're in their second, third year now, a little more mature, a little more poised, just a little more experience in this league. It's sometimes, not everybody's Connor McDavid can jump in and score 100 points the first year. It takes a little bit of time. And if you look at some of the young guys here, I think they're ready to take that leap. And I expect nothing less than a push for the cup here.